There's endless articles and videos about our winters here in Minnesota. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've probably read them all and received the same advice over and over and over. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my unique perspective as someone who's already bared 24 Minnesota winters, learned all the tips and tricks, made all the mistakes. That way I can shovel you all the great information that you need to know to make your Minnesota winter optimal. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Austin and I'm a top producing realtor here in the Minneapolis area. I'm also a practitioner of all my own advice as I'm an active real estate investor who's constantly looking to buy in this market. All right, so getting right into number one. It is the best one. I'm not saving it for last. I'm giving it to you right at the beginning. And that one is invest in a car with four-wheel drive. And specifically, I'm talking to my transplanters out there. You go all over the internet, people are going to tell you you don't need four-wheel drive. Maybe you do need four-wheel drive. Maybe you need a truck, right? I'm telling you right now, if it's your first winter here, don't try to survive without four-wheel drive. It's a very worthwhile investment. And if you're not used to driving on snow, it will be a nightmare. And I don't want that for you. Also, as someone who's lived here my entire life, I can tell you right now that you definitely don't need a truck. A lot of people will tell you you need like a Tahoe or an SUV. And that's even a sentiment amongst a lot of locals here. But I drive a sedan. A lot of people I know drive sedans. And as long as it's four-wheel drive and not dropped to the street level, you'll be perfectly fine. And for those who are worried about driving on the roads for the first time during snow, I do want to give a shout out to MnDOT. It's our Department of Transportation system around here. They do a very good job of almost instantaneously hitting the roads with salt, making sure it's cleared off, but you're still going to want four-wheel drive just in the event that you're actually commuting during the snowstorm, which is pretty damn common. Tip number 2 to surviving Minnesota winters, and the one that's personally made the biggest impact on me and my well-being, is going to be Lifetime, with an honorable mention to Planet Fitness and LA Fitness. No, I'm not transitioning this channel to a fitness channel, and by all means, your goals are your goals and my goals are mine. But the reason I say that is because you'll notice a theme here in Minnesota, and that in the winters, it gets dark and cold very, very early. What does darkness have to do with needing a gym membership? Well, Lifetime especially, and I know Planet Fitness and LA both have their set of amenities as well, but Lifetime specifically has a hot tub, a sauna, some of them have tanning beds, pools, all types of stuff that you're gonna want to warm up and to feel some change of pace on those dark Minnesota winters. All right, number 3 is going to be something that I'm making up right now. It's called Austin's Trunk Winter Essentials. In Austin's Trunk Winter Essentials, you have a large bag of salt and you have a small metal shovel. So, a couple reasons you're going to want to do this. Everyone else in Minnesota already knows about this essential kit and already has it in their trunk, I promise. And if they don't, send this to them because they should. So, more likely than not, when driving in your Minnesota winters, you are going to run into a case where your wheel gets stuck in the snow and it's spinning and creating a little well that you can't get out of. This little pit that your wheel's creating is where the salt comes into play. If you don't have AAA or if no one's in the area to tow you out of your stuck spot, what you can do is you can go to your trunk, grab that bag of salt, and just load up that well that your wheel is making with salt. That's going to give your wheel something to grab onto, and it's also going to melt any ice and snow that's around it, maybe giving you a big enough hole in the snow to actually hit the gravel and get yourself out. So why do you need the shovel? Well, a lot of times cars don't just get stuck with their wheels spinning in the snow, but sometimes what you'll see is the car actually gets beached. And a lot of times what you're going to want to do is just stick that metal shovel under the car and kind of like scrape out snow from underneath your vehicle. So tip number 4, and this one's going to be crucial to your success in Minnesota, is going to be take a vacation. And I can already hear everyone like, well, Austin, like vacation's expensive. You're just telling me to spend money. No, not what I'm telling you. What I'm saying is between September and December, Minnesota is magical. It's going to be kind of cold, but the weather is bearable. The trees are going to look beautiful, and all the holidays, there's nowhere else you want to spend that time other than Minnesota. What I'm saying is do what other people don't and refrain from taking vacations during that window and wait for the dark days. The dark days in Minnesota are between January 2nd and probably like the middle to end of March. Those are going to be the days where you hear even Minnesotans who are already crazy saying that the Minnesota winter is becoming unbearable. That's when you need to etch out 5 to 7 days and go get yourself some sunlight so that you can remain sane and enjoy your life here in Minnesota. Tip number 5 to optimizing your Minnesota winters. And I'll admit, I was a little bit turned off to this idea for a long time. It wasn't really until last year I came around. And that's going to be lean into snowboarding, snowshoeing, skiing, and snowmobiling. So pick whichever one of these feels right for you. I know that snowmobiling is very expensive and snowshoeing is very inexpensive. So wherever you fall on that spectrum, pick one, pick it up. It's a fantastic way to meet new people if you're new to the area. It's going to give you an excuse to get outside. Just one little disclaimer with that. Want to make sure that if you're not from the area and these are new activities for you and you're taking my recommendation on them, please prepare correctly. Watch a video, read a different article that's not this one on how to make sure you can stay warm when you're outside enjoying these activities. Moving down the line, we have number 6, the 6th way to optimize your Minnesota winter. And this one, your back and your joints will thank you immensely. It's a snowblower. I can hear the voice of public opinion again. Austin, that's expensive. You're telling me to spend money. Why do you keep telling me to spend money? I didn't know this was a spending money video. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. You can go on Craigslist or things like that, and you can buy a perfectly functioning, refurbished or used snowblower, and that will make all the difference in the world. And I know what you're thinking. I was thinking the same thing. You don't need a snowblower. You can just shovel it. You're big and you're strong. You're active, right? I will tell you, a lot of times in Minnesota, it will snow for periods of time that are insane, like 6 to 12 hours, right? And when the snow continues to come down like that, if you shovel, you can't just wait till the end to go tackle it because it's physically impossible. Like it will be so painful and there's so much snow, you just don't want to do it. With the snowblower, you can just wait, let it fall, go about the rest of your day, and then go out there with your snowblower and tackle it all at once. So number 7 on this list is going to be general wellness and vitamin D. Little known fact about Minnesota is we have one of the densest populations of wellness centers all around the cities. But if you don't want to pay for those services, because I don't blame you, they're pretty overpriced, I would maybe recommend in just a little lamp, a little red light lamp can go a very long way. They're pretty inexpensive and you just flick it on in the morning and that will improve your mood drastically. Superset that red light with a little bit of vitamin D, and those little capsules are a godsend. My doctor says that 80% or more of Minnesotans are deficient in vitamin D, and that can be a serious mood alterer, whether you believe it or not. I believe it. I take it every day, and I feel like it helps me with the Minnesota winters. All right, so that's going to do it for our list on optimizing your winters here in Minnesota. But if you found this video to be unique or insightful in any way, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe. That greatly motivates me to continue to make your life easier through good content. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you and have a great day.